everybody. I'm so excited we're doing the live stream tonight as we learn all about vitamin D. We're going to start officially in 2 minutes. But if you are here, definitely give me a thumbs up so I can know you're here. That helps me a great deal. Also, if during the broadcast there are topics that you want me to make sure to cover regarding vitamin D, feel free to write in the live stream. That's the beauty of a live stream. And as I have a minute before we start officially, I always give a shout out to my special patients at Mass General and also MathWorks. Hello if you're joining me, and to any of those patients in my private practice. I hope you're here, and I'm thrilled if you are. And I know that if you're not able to make it tonight, that you catch me in the video replays. So I'm so excited about that. It's a hot topic tonight that we'll be talking about, literally and figuratively. So I'm looking forward. We're going to start in 1 minute officially, and just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you are here on the live stream. Great, I can see right now, and it has been the most gorgeous weather in Boston, so I'm so delighted to be able to talk to you about the sunshine vitamin. So hi everybody, welcome to my live stream. My name's Debbie Kravitsky. Tonight we're going to be talking about vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. Isn't it fitting that we have this chat towards the end of the summer, when it will be really important to make sure that we get enough vitamin D. What makes me an authority or in a position to be able to discuss this with you? For those of you who are new to my channel, let me say welcome, and also to introduce myself. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years, and I love to help people reach their dietary goals. Currently, I'm the Director of Nutrition at Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I also have a private practice. I consult with many corporations, and I've appeared in national publications such as Harper's Bazaar and Family Circle magazine. Together, I will navigate the way as I present evidence-based nutrition information, and as we shop, we cook, and I will navigate the way, as I said. So welcome. The beauty of a live stream is it's an opportunity for those who are listening live to write in any questions that they may have as we go through tonight's topic, which is vitamin D. But if there are other topics that you'd like for me to cover, absolutely feel free to write it in, because the beauty of the live stream is it will come up on my screen and I can answer you live. How excellent is that? So without further ado, let's get started. Vitamin D. Far-reaching effects. Vitamin D affects us through all stages of life. So who would be at risk for deficiency of vitamin D? Everybody. And many people think of vitamin D as its role in bone health, and also, perhaps you may not have thought of this, but also tooth health, for oral health. And tooth decay is very important, dental cavities, and vitamin D can help you here to help maintain not only strong bones, but also strong teeth. And when they first looked at vitamin D, they said that's such an important role that vitamin D plays in bone health. That must be all it does. But actually, we've learned a lot more. On every cell in your body, just about, there is a receptor for vitamin D, and it plays a critical role. It plays a critical role in preventing colds and flu. You may not have thought of that for vitamin D, as well as in cancer. So let me explain. In this receptor on your cell for vitamin D, which is where vitamin D will connect with your cell, it will activate, if you have enough vitamin D in your system, it will then activate something called a macrophage. This vitamin D will tell this macrophage in your cell to either destroy itself. You are an unhealthy cell and we don't need you, so destroy yourself and be gone with you. Or it will say you're a healthy cell, continue to thrive, and it will help it with DNA coding or your genetic transcription, your genetic code. That is why people who have low levels of vitamin D have higher rates of many kinds of cancer, including breast cancer, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, and it is a clear relationship. As a matter of fact, those whose levels, when they compare people who have cancer, who have low levels versus high levels of vitamin D, you see a huge difference. Those who have low levels of vitamin D have greater reoccurrence of their cancer. They have also more aggressive tumor profiles, and they live longer. So vitamin D is definitely a longevity gene. And the other thing that you may not have thought of with vitamin D is also its connection to depression. Vitamin D is necessary for the production of serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter in your brain, and that will help you to feel happy. So without it, you don't. And so those who have depression have much lower levels of vitamin D. And that is why it is called the sunshine vitamin. And you find that people who have seasonal affect disorder, they sit in front of those mercury arc lamps and they feel better because they make more vitamin D. Also, it is connected to more and more research is connecting low levels of vitamin D to autism. And when you supplement vitamin D with these kids, that they actually, about 75% of the kids, the majority of these symptoms improve. And when they look at people who have low levels of vitamin D in just at 3 months of gestation, as well as at birth, and as 8 years of age, we compare the two, and we see that vitamin D is a huge factor. So how do we get it? What is the best way? Do we get it through food? Do we take it in the form of a supplement, a pill, or what? The best way to get vitamin D is to get yourself outside and to let the sun do its thing. That vitamin D is not actually a vitamin. A vitamin is something that's essential to life that we can take through a pill or through food. But this is really a hormone because your skin will, through activation, through UVB radiation from the sun, will make vitamin D. And that is the best way to get it. Now, there is a huge difference between going outside and getting a tan and thinking, oh, look, I'm tan, I just made vitamin D. That's a different wavelength. That's UVA wavelength. That's different. But the only way to know you're making enough vitamin D when you go outside is we live in an amazing world. There is an app for that. It is called D, as in vitamin D, Minder, Minder, D Minder Pro. And it's a free app. You can download it onto your mobile device, go outside, it will calculate. You'll have to put in some details like who you are, where you are, what your age is, what your weight is, because obesity plays a huge role in vitamin D. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. So those who have more fat cells on them, that vitamin D will get sequestered or caught in that fat cell, and so it won't be available for use in your serum or in your blood, which is where you need it, so it can go to all the different cells in your body. So this will ask you your weight for just that reason. And you'll go outside and it will calculate based on your location how long you need to stay outside to make enough vitamin D. Pretty cool, huh? And it is a free app for everyone. If you have long sleeves on, then forget it. You're blocking the action, the rays of the sun. If you have sunscreen on, forget it. You just block the actions of the sun. So make sure that you need your skin exposed. Make sure you have sleeveless or short sleeves. Make sure you're wearing shorts or you rolled up your pants or you have a bathing suit on. Make sure that you don't use sunscreen. The best hours for you to be outside to make vitamin D, its relation to the distance from the sun is going to be between 10 and 3 in the afternoon. These are the best hours. You can make it at other times, however, you'd have to stay out there longer. So between 10 and 3. We understand the connection between sun and skin damage. So I certainly don't want that. Make sure you don't want to burn. You want to get just a rosy color. Make sure that you put sunscreen on your face. Your face is the most exposed and where most damage can happen. So put sunscreen on your face, but leave those legs and arms exposed for the appropriate amount of time so that you can make enough vitamin D. Now, when you get vitamin D from the sun, it's metabolized or it functions a little differently than if you took it in the form of a supplement or a pill. When you go outside, 2 to 3 times a week is all you'll need. And generally, it'll take anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. What's interesting is the darker your skin, the longer you're going to need to be outside. Dark skin is a built-in sunscreen. It's evolutionary. And when you think about it, those who live in Africa who are outside in the sun all the time, back in the day, that dark skin was a protection against the sun. When you go to Switzerland or the Netherlands, you're going to see very light skin, fair skin, because they're not, that sun isn't as strong. They're further away from the sun. So they need to have a protectant to make enough vitamin D quicker and under those conditions. So it's pretty interesting. The darker the skin, the longer you're going to need to be outside, because you need to make vitamin D given that you have a built-in sunscreen. Interesting, isn't it? So vitamin D is pretty fast-reaching effects. It also has a profound impact on your sleep, which has a profound impact on your health. In your brain, there are stem cells, and each one has a vitamin D receptor. And when you're in deep sleep, if you don't get in a deep sleep, that REM sleep, that deep sleep, you might be deficient in vitamin D. So if you're waking up after a long sleep and you're pooped, it's because you didn't get into that deep sleep, which is restorative and healing. And to get into a deep sleep, this might sound strange to many of you, your body has to really become, in an appropriate manner, it becomes paralyzed. It allows you to stay perfectly still in a safe manner so that you can repair and grow. If you don't have enough vitamin D, that can't happen. And so you can't focus, you can't concentrate. It has these far-reaching effects, much broader than just bone health, or than only bone health, not just bone health, because bone health is important, but definite far-reaching effects. Those who have heart disease those with a low vitamin D have greater risk for heart disease and metabolic syndrome. So vitamin D affects all of us at every age span. Many people who are nursing their mothers, many moms, think, I am nursing my baby to give that child the best start possible. And you really are. And you may think this is the most wholesome approach. And it is. However, there is no vitamin D in breast milk. It is agreed upon by all researchers that all infants need 400 international units of vitamin D to be given in the form of a supplement, normally in the form of a dropper. I was told today by a friend of mine who has little kids that many people, that nursing mothers will actually often apply it to their breasts so the baby will just suck it right off. Oh, look at that. Hi, Donna. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. Who no longer are errands. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, definitely write it in. Good to see you. And I'm going to keep checking this live stream, so keep writing in, because I totally appreciate it. And let me know with a thumbs up that you're here. So, very far-reaching effects of vitamin D. Most people will tell you that almost everybody in the Northeast, we are deficient in vitamin D. It is correlated to why we see higher rates of multiple sclerosis and Crohn's disease and IBS. We see them here, and in large part, they are connected to low levels of vitamin D because we just don't get the sun. But everybody over the age, who live above the 37th parallel, which is Atlanta, Georgia. I was just with cousins who live in Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia, and north, you just between the months November through March, you could be outside all day and you're just too far from the sun. You will not make a lick of vitamin D. So the best way, if you're not getting it from the sun, is through a supplement. With a supplement, with the sun 2 to 3 times a week, with a supplement, you need to take that every single day. And how much do you need? You need 3,000 to 4,000 international units every day. And supplements are the wild, wild west of medicine. Now, you might be surprised to hear me say take a supplement. Because most dietitians, whenever we can, we tell you get it through food. It's better. We know how it works with food. We don't always know how it works when you pluck something out, you isolate it, and you put it in the form of a pill. But here we do. And the reason is food doesn't come along with a lot of vitamin D. So we get vitamin D from fatty fish. This is your best source. So wild salmon will give you plenty of vitamin D, but farm-raised salmon doesn't have a lick. Irradiated mushrooms, mushrooms that are exposed to the sun, will have some vitamin D, but those that grow underground won't have any. If I'm telling you that you need about 3 to 4,000 international units a day, one glass of milk, which we fortify with vitamin D, actually will give you only 100 international units. So that would be way too, a lot of milk to have to drink to reach the 3 to 4,000. We don't recommend getting your blood tested for vitamin D unless you think you're deficient, and once you do, then you'll supplement, and then you'll reassess to see if that supplement is working or if you need more. But generally about 3 to 4,000. And when you're checking, if you're having a blood test to see if you're deficient with vitamin D, make sure that you use an accurate lab for assessment, and that your criteria for whether you're deficient or not is also accurate. You need to have, ideally, between 100 and 125. They measure it in nanomoles per liter. So that's where you should be. Many labs are using 50 as the cutoff, but 50 is really too low. 50 might help you reach an appropriate level, but it's not necessarily appropriate for bone health. So, and to prevent fractures. And we know that when we give elderly people 800 international units a day, we have 72% less falls, because it helps with bone strength, with stability, with balance. So vitamin D is critical for everybody all across the board. But particularly, you'd notice that those who don't get enough sunshine, those who are institutionalized, those who don't go outside, this is where we need to get it. And if you are getting it from food, you would have to have something like a wild salmon. You'd have to eat it every day. But I don't know a lot of people, if they like salmon, who are having it every day. So take it in the form of a supplement. And when you go to buy your supplement, supplements are the wild, wild west. It unregulated, totally unregulated. So medicines have to go through years of testing for safety and efficacy before they can make it to the market. But anybody can make a supplement and put it out there. That's very little comfort or consolation to you and I. So the only way you're going to know, and only, by the way, if there's enough complaints about a certain supplement, and only if there's enough manpower in the FDA, will they then consider investigating and perhaps pull it from the shelf. So the only way you're going to have any kind of comfort is to check a few things. Number one, always check the expiration date of your supplement. Number two, look for the USP stamp. It's the United States Pharmacopoeia. It means that this manufacturer has paid the United States pharmacy to ensure what's on the package is in the package. So it has nothing to do with safety. It just means you're getting what they say you're getting. And that is all you've got to go by. The vitamin D comes in two forms. The prescription is D2, the natural form in foods is D3, and in a supplemental form that is not prescription, I would definitely get vitamin D3. I think it's, although there are mixed reviews on this, I think it is better absorbed. I would get the vitamin D3 and make sure you're having 3 to 4,000 international units a day to cover you. The best way to take this supplement to enhance its absorption, it is a fat-soluble vitamin, so take it with a source of fat. It will help it be absorbed, digested, and utilized by the body. So whether you're having a salad with oil, with salad dressing, or a tuna fish sandwich with mayonnaise, or you're having some nuts, or some seeds, or a peanut butter sandwich, make sure you have a source of fat. It will help that vitamin D get absorbed, digested, and utilized a little better. I hope I am answering your questions about vitamin D and its far-reaching implications on your health. Make sure that you take enough vitamin D, go outside during these months and make sure you get it. Use D-Minder Pro to see how long you need to stay out there. And from November to through to March, make sure you take the supplement. I hope this has helped everybody. For now, this has been Dishing with the Dietitian. I'm going to give just a second to look for any questions or comments. Give me the thumbs up to let me know that you're here, and any questions I'm happy to answer. I hope this has been helpful to everybody. And again, special thanks to Donna Sire. I'm so happy that you're here. And Mary, you have a question. I'm so happy to take that. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for joining me on Dishing with the Dietitian. I'm going to stay with you as I wait to hear your question because that's just what a live stream is all about. That is the benefit of the live stream, is I can take your questions live and answer you. It'll help me. Maybe you're going to take me in a direction that other people who are listening or who watch this after will be so thrilled that you did. So thank you. Okay, Mary, a doctor told someone at the table to stop taking calcium, but not vitamin D. Why? Sometimes somebody's calcium can be too high. We can only absorb 500 milligrams of calcium at one time. And some studies had suggested that perhaps too high calcium is connected to an increased risk of heart health, because it can calcify the arteries. However, I think we also need calcium for vitamin D absorption. Vitamin D and calcium are very closely connected. It's one of the jobs of vitamin D. It's why it helps to maintain bone health. When your calcium level in your blood is maintained within a narrow range, if it goes too low, that calcium needs to, that serum level or the blood level needs to be maintained, so it'll come out of your bone. And we don't want that, because that can lead to osteoporosis or osteomalacia, a softening of the bone. So vitamin D's role is it will enhance gut absorption from vitamin D and keep your levels within a narrow range. And that's just what you want to do. So maybe they were concerned that the calcium level was getting too high, but not the vitamin D. Because there's a difference between utilization, how that D is being used, and abundance. Blaine, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Besides sun, any recommendations for getting my child enough vitamin D? Well, then it might be a supplement. If you're not going outside, then make sure that you give that child also a supplement, because it is connected. They found that even with kids, when they gave them 300 international units per what we call kilograms per body weight, that 75% of these kids had improved, had reduced core symptoms of autism. So kids need it as well. This is important for, and particularly kids who are fussy eaters, and I told you, even it's hard to get it from food. So I would make sure that I gave that child a supplement, and to go from kilograms to pounds, because most of us in the United States, we weren't raised in the metric system. Take that child's weight in pounds and go times 2.2. So I would do it in the form of a supplement. You guys are so invested and have great questions. So I'm just so excited about this. Any other questions? I'll stay on for a minute just to make sure that I give you a chance to answer them. But thank you, Mary. Thank you, Donna. It's been terrific. I hope my my answers to your questions have been helpful, because we are all in this together, and there's not one person who won't be affected by vitamin D and its far-reaching health implications. So we're all at risk for deficiency, and just by taking a supplement, just by correcting this deficiency or low level, and by the way, about a billion people worldwide have a vitamin D deficiency. So this is a global issue that really needs to be addressed as we learn far more about the implications of vitamin D deficiency on our health. So I hope that this has helped you, and I thank you so much for joining me on the live stream. You always can write in questions even after the live stream is over. And Donna, yay! I do miss you and loved your sessions. I'm glad I finally caught you live. I am too. Could you please repeat the name of the phone app? Absolutely, Donna. And I'm so glad you asked me to do that, because if it's helpful for you, it's helpful for everybody. It's called D, the letter D, as in vitamin D. And then the next word is Minder. M as in Mary, INDER. D, then the next word is Minder. And then the last word is PRO, PRO. It is a free app, D-Minder Pro. You'll see it looks like a sun. It looks like the outdoors, and you'll see the little numbers. You'll know it's free. And it will ask for you to put in your location. It'll ask for your age, because as we get older, we don't synthesize vitamin D as well from the sun, so you might need to stay out a little longer. And also, it will ask you your weight because of its connection to obesity. So those who are definitely, we see more increased risk for vitamin D are those with darker skin, those who are obese, and those over the age of 65. Great questions. And I am so glad that you're able to catch me live tonight, because I have missed you as well. So go you, Donna. I'm so glad you joined in, and I hope you find this helpful. So a special shout out to you and to all of my patients from Mass General. I'm so thrilled you're here. All right, you guys, if you have any other questions, I'm going to leave just a few more minutes, and then I will sign off. But you can definitely give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you are here. That's really helpful for me. And also, let me know if you found this helpful. And if there are questions you have that are remaining, let me know those. And Mary, very helpful. Mary, thank you so much. I love having you here. Thank you for joining us on Dishing with the Dietitian, and I'm so glad you found it helpful. Also, if there are topics that you'd like me to cover in upcoming segments, I would love to do that, so let me know and I'd be happy to. Please subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me to continue to do this. So just hit that little red button that says subscribe, and you will get notifications of all upcoming segments, and that will help me to continue to be able to do this. So thank you all for joining me on Dishing with the Dietitian. I hope you get out in the sun. Stay just as long as you need to make vitamin D, but we know good sun protection is definitely important. But enjoy these months while we have them, because once November comes, supplements for all. Have a great night, everybody, and thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care.